Hi! Welcome back to the Vegan Dollhouse Kitchen. Today we're making vegan vanilla cupcakes that are filled with fresh strawberries, and they are so good. I made these and brought them to a bake sale, and everybody loved them. After you make your vegan buttermilk, you're going to start measuring out your dry ingredients, and you want to sift them, so I just measure mine right into a sifter. Oh yes, and I also spill a lot. I know sugar can either be a wet ingredient or a dry ingredient, but for this recipe we measure it with the dry ingredients. If you don't already have a kitchen scale, I highly recommend it. It means you don't have to do as many dishes because when you use measuring cups and measuring spoons, you have to wash them. But it's also just faster. Once your dry ingredients are all mixed together, you can start adding the rest of the wet ingredients to the buttermilk that you made earlier. All of the measurements for the ingredients I'm using for this recipe, along with detailed instructions, can be found using the link in the description below. Any baking, then you probably know that when you're making cakes or cupcakes, you only want to mix until you can't see any dry ingredients, and then you want to stop mixing. There is such a thing as over mixing, and I don't necessarily have any experience with that, but I've heard that it can really change the texture of your cakes. Cupcake liners with batter, I try to go for a 2/3 full line, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get them exactly 2/3 or even to get each one the same amount of full as the other ones. So what I typically do is I'll go through all of them, fill them all an amount that I think is fairly equal, and then I usually have batter left over after that. And then I take that batter and add a little bit to the ones that look a little low and try to even them out. While your cupcakes are baking, you can start on the strawberry filling. If you plan to make heart-shaped strawberry slices for the top of each cupcake like I did, then I would start there. That way you can pick your prettiest strawberries for your slices, and they have time to dry. When I slice my strawberries for a pretty heart shape, I pretty much just take the 2 middle slices for the heart garnish, and then the rest ends up getting diced up with the rest. Sprinkling a teaspoon of sugar on your strawberries is optional, but it does make them more yummy. And it also helps let some of the liquid out so that that liquid isn't going into the filling of your cupcakes. When the cupcakes first come out of the oven, you want to leave them in the pan to cool for 10 to 15 minutes. But after that, anytime you can remove them from the pan and they can cool the rest of the way on the cooling rack directly. While your cupcakes are cooling, you can make your frosting. frosting into your piping bag, it's time to take the centers out of your cupcakes using an apple core. You only want to go about halfway down, and then once you take half of it out, you fill it with strawberries, and then you put it back in. But because you put strawberries in there, it's not going to fit in perfectly. So you have to take a little bit of the cake off of the bottom before you put it back in. Otherwise, it won't go all the way down. Once all your cupcakes are filled with strawberries, you can frost them, and then no one will ever know that you had to harm your cupcake in the making of these. Once they're frosted, you can add your strawberry garnish and then serve. Thank you so much for watching. If you like and subscribe, it means a lot to me. My goal is to make one recipe per week, so if you want to hear about the next one, click on the little bell icon.